I need to turn up the microphone. Welcome, chat. Hopefully you enjoyed the video on my main channel. I got a lot to get off my chest. It's kind of weird though. Like it's really weird. I can't win. I have backers, like people that pay for my subscribe star and stuff, and they're like, "Well, V, why don't you address what Sargon has said like that? I would be really interested in hearing that, V." And then I address it, right? And then I have other backers being, "Well, V, you're a little bit too much of a drama channel now. Like you need to dial it down. Why do you keep fishing for others bigger channels? Why are you antagonizing Sargon?" And then I have people saying, why are you upset with Sargon? Why are you arguing with him? And it's like, oh my fucking god, just leave me alone. But no, I do think like I have to make a video because a lot of people keep asking like, what do you think the solution would be? And I think the solution is to abolish the welfare state. Simple. I think the welfare state is one of the biggest cancers that we have in our society. It is the reason birth rates are low. I don't think it's pornography. I do think that it's also the reason why you have mass migration. I also think that is the reason why the government can afford all of the censorship and all of the tyranny. Do you know how expensive, like, having CCTV cameras with facial recognition and AI that actually manages to like catch your car speeding and immediately like try to withdraw money from your bank account? Do you know how expensive that shit is? Do you think money grows on trees? Like, how do you think the government affords for that? Like, yes, the government is kind of becoming like God in the sense that it knows everything about you, all your transactions, all your payments, everywhere you go, everything you do. But it's not free, right? Like, they need to hire the people and the technology. And so, like, the root of the problem is the funding, is the welfare state. Every time you give money to the government for welfare, like, they take a cut. You know, you can't give money to like, a dying lady. Right? Like, how Sargon told me, it's like, well, the lady freezing in the middle of the winter, right? Like, first of all, she should have had kids. But like, secondly, let's say you give $1,000 for that lady. I guarantee to you that $500 goes to the government. And then it's the NHS, right? Like, it's the cult of the NHS, right? And the NHS doesn't just, like, treat you for medical emergencies. No, like, they want sci-fi level medicine to treat cancers and shit. And it's like, okay, well, if you want sci-fi level medicine, well, you better start paying sci-fi level of money to fund it. What do you mean about transition? Like, when is this transition supposed to happen? Well, like, abolishing the welfare state? Well, first, like, it would have people that require to talk about it. Because, like, right now, no one is talking about it. It's not even a talking point that registers on any radar, right? And, like, the welfare state is the root of all evil. Like, the government makes contracts, and it's basically obligated in order to provide you with a service that you and your parents paid for. And when it can't, it freaks out and it's like GDP must go up, right? And so they start depressing wages with immigration. They start in order to attract like more companies, so they pay more taxes and so on and so forth. All the fines that they put, all the environmentalist bullshit, like all of that goes for the government every time you pay a fine. Every time, you know, you end up obtaining a new regulation, a new bullshit, right? It goes to the government. So like all the money is there to fund the welfare. And if you manage to get rid of that, you would get rid of like 60% of the problems, I guarantee to you, in one fucking day. Maybe contraceptive and abortion cause low birth rates more. Again, I think it's the welfare. Like, yeah, sure, contraceptives and abortions, yeah, okay, fine. But like without welfare, people would wonder, like, what do I do when I'm an elderly gentleman, right? Like, when I'm an old man, what do I do? And the answer is like, well, right now is the government will take care of you. Like, you're going to get a pension, you're going to get the government pay for you, and so you're fine, right? Like, it's okay if you don't have kids. Like, the government will take someone else's kids to pay for you. But if you don't have welfare, then it's going to be, well, shit, what do I do? And you're going to find out, it's like, okay, well, I need to have at least 4 or 5. Because out of those four, like probably one, dies of natural causes, car crash, shit like that happens, right? And out of the other three, like maybe two hate your guts, also can happen. And then you hope that at least one of them is going to be nice enough so that when you're old, is going to take care of grandpa. And then the other problem is the universities, right? I remember, like, I was talking about this one day, and I don't know, like, how the topic came about, but I was like, yeah, when my grandpa was 16, like, he was already having a family and a job, and he was like, oh, so, like, if your son at 16 came home with a child, would you be happy? And I was like, why not? Like, what would be the problem? Like, I would help him financially. Like, that's my grandson you're talking about. Like, why would I be upset if my son at the age of 16 came home with a kid? I mean, like, I would tell him to fuck off, start his own house. Like, I would give him a house. It's like, okay, go and start your family, get a job, and become a man, right? Assume responsibility. Why would I be against that? Like, my dad was also having me when he was young, and my grandparents had me when they were... Well, what is it with this idea that, like, no, we need to institutionalize children all the way up until they finish university, so by the time they can have kids, they're 25 years old? Why? No. For the game, thank you, Feathers127, and welcome to the show. Pensions are your right, you work all your life. Yeah, no, I get it. Like, that's the problem with abolishing them, right? But what if you abolish them from the generation forward? So from today forward, no more pensions. Like, everyone that goes over the age of 18 now, I'm going to be taxed for a pension. To be fair, like, this is the difficulty of it, right? Like, how do you get out of the system? Because as you say, it's like you work all your entire life. No, I get what you're saying. It's horrible, right? Because now you're trapped in this Ponzi scheme. And now this Ponzi scheme is actually destabilizing society. How do you get out of it? It's a good question. SRC Maker, my grandfather at 16 faked his age, joined the army, and fought in World War II. That is so fucking badass. That the very idea that, like, now, and I'm going to say, like, myself included, like, we want to be away from the battlefield as far away as possible. But, like, the idea that in the past, like, people would fake their age in order to get into combat, that's insane. No, like, the thing with working, right? Like, I got my first job when I was a teenager. I worked at McDonald's. And I gotta say, I learned there more than I learned at school. I learned there, like, how to hate the government for taxing me. Like, that was probably one of the most important lessons. They don't teach you that at school, right? But they teach me how to hate the government, because it comes with taxes. It taught me how to work in a group, in a team. It taught me about pulling your own weight and why that's important. And it taught me discipline. You learn a lot of discipline in a kitchen at the restaurant, even if it's a fast food one. And the most important thing that I learned is, like, how it is to earn your own money. Like, you have no idea how much I valued the first time I made a buck. And to deprive young people of that is insane. My grandpa brought that side of the family out of abject poverty and into the middle class by himself. He had 3 kids, and grandma never had to work. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess if you were in America, that was a thing. Like here in Europe, the idea that the woman can stay at home while the husband works, it's pretty luxurious. Like, it's usually reserved for aristocrat families. No, like here, both people have to work. And like, women wouldn't want that either. It's like, okay, you stay home all day and do what? Like, you go insane. No, seriously, like, you'd have a mental wife if you do that. Like, if the wife actually stays home. Like, let's put it into perspective a little bit, shall we? In a medieval time, right? Like, the woman stays at home. What does she do? Well, to do laundry, you need to wash clothes by hand. Usually takes 1 or 2 hours. To cook food, another 1 or 2 hours. Like, you don't have a vacuum, you gotta use a broom, right? Like, that takes a lot of time to clean. To feed the animals in the barn and all of that, like all of that takes time, right? So, like, the woman stays at home, but she does a lot of work, right? Like she takes care of the kids, she cooks, she cleans. Like it's a lot of work in a medieval setting. Let's say like a woman stays at home today in 2025, right? Well, you got a Roomba that cleans by itself. Let's say that she cleans by hand too, right? So like what is that? Like vacuuming a house. 1 hour, 2 hours if you do it daily, right? Let's say she doesn't do it daily. Maybe 2 hours, 3 max. Okay, I'm already being extremely generous here, right? She's got a washing machine that also has a dryer. You can order from Uber, like you don't even have to cook yourself. And even if you do cook yourself, like most of the stuff comes pre-prepared from the market, right? Like you don't need to actually take the pig and start chopping it off. Like it already comes neatly packed from the butcher. You have a dishwasher, right? Like what is she supposed to do home all day? Seriously, like picture yourself in the role of the woman and you're sitting at home all day long. Like you're watching telenovelas or what? You get insane. Right? Like you're going to have a woman that's fucking loco. No, seriously, like it's not good for the human psyche to be like that. And so like, no, like the solution is for both people to work. Right? Like the man goes to a job, the woman goes to a job, and they have 2 incomes. And you use the income in order to improve the life of your child. You're making it so that your kid has a good head start in life. That's the purpose of a family, in my opinion. I don't know if other people agree or disagree, but yeah. Homeschool? I guess. But like even homeschooling, right? Like why can't your neighbor homeschool? Like doesn't she have kids? Okay, well send your kid to her. Like it's enough for like one person. Like if your wife wants to homeschool, all right, get all the kids in the neighborhood into your house. Like talk to the other parents, and then they pay you for the service, and then she still makes money. She still works. If she's such an amazing homeschooler, although again, I don't think like that's really needed. You can send your kid to a private school. That's good. If she has an income and you have an income, you probably can afford it. She can chat with the neighbors. She's probably going to chat with the AI, isn't she? Like, it's 2025, you know? Like, it's not like back in the old days when you went and you chat with the neighbors. It's like, no, she's going to go fucking insane. She's going to stay at the computer all day, watch TV, get fat, and that's the wife you get. You're going to get a hysterical wife that is a lazy sack of shit, and then you're going to regret your decisions. Like, no, people have to work. A lot of people are LARPing as Christians, right? It's like, well, isn't the... Like, in the medieval time, like, she was still working at home, right? But now, there's nothing to do, so... Anyway. Can't do that in France because it's illegal to not send your kid to government-approved school. Well, aren't there, like, government-approved schools that are good? Like, where do the politicians... Like, find out where the politicians send their kids and send them there. I guarantee to you, they probably know something you don't. If only they would fuck off to church instead of Twitter. But even at church, dude. The priest would get tired of her bug. How many times can you go to church? And by the way, you don't want a religious fanatical lady. Like, trust me. No. It's not good for you. Why are people pressing F? Did my live stream went down? Oh, someone dog died? Jesus. Sorry about that. It's not good. Anyway, yeah, it depends on the church. Again, like a lot of the things that people did in the past is because they lacked the technology. And so, you know, people went to church because they didn't have the internet. They didn't have Discord. They couldn't talk to each other. And so, like, that was the community hub, right? But nowadays, I guarantee to you, women nowadays don't need to engage in physical contact. They can go on the computer and they can talk to people. Anyway, right. Oh, did Dankula's dog pass away? Alright. I see what Snake Dude said. So, like, Dankula's dog, Buddha, has passed away. So, there we go. I paid my respects. All right, let's discuss a little bit about Nick Fuentes, because I don't want people to think that I'm picking on Sargon too much. And I'm not even picking on him. It's just like people ask me to make videos, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll make a video. I don't agree with his take. Okay, like it's fine, but really bad take. Let's listen to Nick Fuentes. Now I haven't listened to Nick Fuentes in quite a while, but this is an interesting take. It's a take about right-wing cruelty. I made a video about it, but now I want you guys to hear it. Right? It's got like 3.3 thousand likes. Like it's a very hot take. And let's hear what he has to say.
Thing and say, oh, it's fucking trannies. No, like, and look, it's the same thing when the left says that some young white kid goes and shoots up a church of black people and people say it's these fucking white males. It's no different. It's no different. And I think that, you know, and this is something I've been meaning to say for a long time. The spirit of our Christian religion is not judgment, although, of course, we're going to speak the truth about what is right and wrong, and we're going to assert it forcefully, but it's not contempt, it's not disdain, it's not cruelty that we're pretending is, admonition for someone's own good. The heart of our religion is mercy, forgiveness, compassion, charity above all else. And that's something I think that's missing across the board, whether you get the cruelty of the left with their flavor of political correctness and cancel culture and punch Nazis and fuck you. And don't get me wrong, I don't think there's quite an equivalence between right and left. I think the right's a little bit better. We're starting to even see our own flavor of cruelty on the right wing. The right wing, we have to acknowledge, has its own flavor of cruelty. And some people might say, I'm guilty of that. I think I'm provocative. I think I'm bombastic. I think my language can be heavy-handed. I don't consider myself a cruel person. And I think that on the right, maybe some people are losing the forest for the trees. I don't identify as right wing. I'm a Christian. I am an American. And if there are teenagers out there, fucking teenagers, guys, pause, fucking... If there are teenagers, high schoolers. Yeah, they watch Destiny. Yeah, they watch Vosh. And there's teenagers that are going in the other direction. Are we in a culture war against our neighbors? Are we in a culture war against high schoolers? Are we in a culture war?
Right, so I'm going to stop here, because I think, like, it goes out for 10 minutes and people kind of get the gist of it, right? I don't want to be like Hassan, where I leave my empty chair and just a microphone. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what he said. He is basically attacking other content creators like Matt Walsh, and is being upset because, like, Matt Walsh is condemning the left, and it's like, oh, is this what it means to be a right winger now? It's like how much you hate the left and blah blah blah. Now here's the thing. He does have one point, because it's kind of hard to debunk what he is saying, because he does have one point, but, like, when you look at the context, it's incorrect. The point is that when you go on the internet, you notice that the Christians you meet on Twitter absolutely fit into the definition that Nick Fuentes gave. Like, the Christians on Twitter, they have no mercy. They don't do any charity. They have nothing but spite, and they judge others, right? But, like, why is that? Why are the Christians on Twitter like that? It's because the algorithm. That's what the algorithm promotes, right? So, like, there's probably Christians on Twitter that are nice people, but the algorithm will never promote them. If Matt Walsh makes a video and he talks about, you know, like, forgiveness and mercy and turning the other cheek, he's not going to get any likes. He's going to get demoted. Going to get thumbs down, right? And so, like, if you want to meet actual decent Christians, like, you gotta go outside. You gotta go to the church. You're not going to meet them on Twitter. But anyway, like, Nick Fuentes is talking about, like, the recent tragedy with the shooter, right? Like, the shooter that was trans. And he is upset that a lot of people are turning it into a culture war. Like, he's upset that a lot of right-wingers are insulting the trans person. And it's not the Christian thing to do, right? Because like Christians don't have spite. They're not judgmental. They're charitable individuals. They turn the other cheek. And so my question is like, if Nick Fuentes was controlled opposition, right? Like if he was controlled opposition, what would he do any different than what he is doing now? This is a legit question. I'm not strawmanning. I'm like asking a serious question. If Nick Fuentes was controlled opposition, how would, like, what would these talking points be like? How would they differ to what he is saying now? Because from what I notice, and correct me if I'm wrong, he supported Kamala Harris. He supported Joe Biden. Like every election, right? Like he's a right-winger. Well, at least he doesn't say he's a right-winger. He says he's an American and a Christian. It's like, okay, fine. But he's constantly supporting Democrats. Like over the last 8 years, probably 12, has constantly supported Democrat candidates. And now when the overtone windows is moving, and now when like people are having some pushback and we're going to go against what they're pushing back, he's like, oh, no, guys, like we're Christians. No. It's fucking weird, isn't it? Right? So like my question is like, if he was controlled opposition, what would he do differently? Like how would it... Anyway, the thing that has to do, like, why are right-wingers upset over this recent shooting and why they're making it a culture war? You know, when the right-wingers do it, it's usually because they're targeting their political opposition, right? So, like, let's say in Romania right now, like, a guy attacked a Glovo driver, and the reason they're outraged is because they're trying to demonize some right-wing politicians that were against Glovo, right? So, like, they're using that in order to target the political opposition, to justify for more censorship, to justify for more crackdowns. What right-wingers are doing now is that they're noticing that there's an ideology that creates extremism. And if you go on Reddit, you'll see what I'm talking about. I don't even need to go examples, just go on Reddit. And you'll see like some of the most extreme takes regarding the shooting. Like there's actual people on Reddit, I'm not even kidding, there's people on Reddit that are saying that it's a good thing that it happened. They're saying that less Republicans in the world. They're justifying it because, well, misgendering a trans person is genocide, right? And so when you have an ideology that promotes this level of extremism and dials it to 11, and any person that's a doctor, like you learn this in med school, massive hormonal imbalances, whether it's like too much or too little testosterone, cause mood swings, right? Like not all people that have hormonal imbalances will have mood swings, but like some do. And when you're looking at like 10,000 people, it's enough for 1% of them, and then you hook up, you plug that extremist ideology, like a very violent and extreme ideology. It's like, well, if they don't respect our rights, then we can arm up and shit. And then you have like not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 recent events in the last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, right? And if it was any other ideology, like people would crack down on it by now. And so what do I mean by cracking down on it? Well, there's two possibilities. Like, first of all, I'm a free speech type of guy. I don't like censorship. But I'm looking at Reddit, and I know that it's not social media that's reflective of society. What Reddit is an editorial board. What do I mean by this? Well, the admin, like nothing gets posted there if the moderators don't like it, right? Like I have seen people on Reddit have like normal takes, like no hate speech, no nothing, immediately banned. Nothing appears there if the moderators don't want it. And the moderators don't exist if the admins don't want it. So like in a way, Reddit decides what gets posted. And so like they're literally responsible. Now my solution on cracking down on this ideology can be done in 2 ways. The first way is not about censorship, it's about free speech. You know, if you actually allow people to say whatever the fuck they want, you're going to see that this ideology just goes away tomorrow. Like in a heartbeat, you know? Like if you bring the 2016 era of the internet, anyone that thinks they're edgy, anyone that thinks like the killer is cool, is going to be mocked into submission, and they're never going to show their face again. Like the community would police its own. Like all of this nonsense would just disappear, right? Like all they need is free speech. That's it. But if you don't want free speech, then you have to censor. Like the same way that you censor right-wingers that would advocate for similar things, you need to start censoring the left. The main problem right now is that the right-wingers get censored, but people on the left are allowed to say some of the most batshit extremist things ever that would not fly under any polite circle. And so, like, this is a system that's, like, actively promoting and glorifying these types of activities. So this is why the right-wingers are concerned. They're concerned because they're saying if the system doesn't change, if this is allowed to continue, there's going to be another. Okay? It's not like, oh, they're Christians and they're judging and they're using like the... No, they have kids that go to school and they're concerned about this ideology that is allowed to like completely ban and censor any right-winger, but at the same time is promoting and giving a megaphone to some of the most extremist lunatics that I have seen on the internet. Like, even 4chan back in the day wasn't this extreme like I saw on Reddit. Holy shit. And so, regarding Fuentes, right? Like, when this is the conversation, he's basically like, no, we need to dial it back. And I'm filled with compassion. It's like, look, I get it, but is it now the time? You know, like, read the fucking room. Anyway, rude speech gets you shadow ban on Reddit. I never use Reddit. It's like, well, only when there's like a major event happening or something like that, I go use it. But like using Reddit, especially like some subreddits, if you never used it before, it feels so complicated, you know? You go on a place like 4chan, you go on a place like Discord, you just in and you start typing and you're chatting, right? Like you're plugged in. You go on Reddit and there's so many fucking rules, man. So many fucking rules. It's like, oh, you're not allowed to talk about this. You're not allowed to talk about that. You can't post this. You can't post that. You post something, moderator is now reviewing your post. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? What did they do to my internet? How do people put up with this? It's ridiculous. Christians are getting sick of the progressive Christians. I don't think like Fuentes is a progressive Christian. I don't think Christians are sick of him. I do think like the Christians that I'm seeing online, again, are the Christians that the algorithm promotes, right? So like if you're a spiteful Christian, if you just go around condemning others and you hate everyone and everything that's not a Christian, then the algorithm promotes you. If you're the type of Christian that's like, oh, you know, let's live and let live, it's not our place to judge, you know, turning the other cheek, you don't get likes, you don't get retweets. And so, like, I think that this is what's happening, you know? His streams responding to Tucker were really good. Yeah, well, I'm not saying he's not a clever man and he doesn't do content that's appealing, because otherwise, like, he wouldn't have the number of subscribers that he does. But I am saying that if I was to have him as controlled opposition, like, there's nothing else that I would add. Like, he's doing a really good job, you know? Every time, like, I'm willing to bet, and mark my words, okay? Like, clip this. The next election, I don't know who's going to run, because I don't think it's going to be Trump, right? Like, Trump is going to be old. So you're going to have, like, whomever the Republicans front, probably J.D. Vance, probably someone else, I don't know. But you're going to have, like, let's say J.D. Vance, most likely, against a Democrat, right? Like, this is going to be the next American election. I bet, and I'm willing to put money on this, like, without even knowing the candidates, without even knowing the policies, without knowing anything, Fuentes is going to support the Democrat candidate. Mark my fucking words. Like, unless he does a stream, right? Like, unless something happens that he hangs his coat and does a stream, I am willing to put money on this. I am willing to bet, regardless of who gets to be Republican, regardless of who the Democrat nominee is, regardless of what the talking points and the subject matter and everything that's going to happen at that point, he is going to support the Democrat candidate. Or he's going to support a losing candidate, you know, like a wild card, like Kanye West or some shit. Now, you know, someone brought an interesting thing, right? Like, it's Israel. Like that's his shtick, right? Like, that's his mark. You think Fuentes, you think of Israel. Like, you can't think of one without the other, right? Or maybe actually you can think of Israel without Fuentes. But you can't think of Fuentes without Israel. Fair enough. Okay. So he is endorsing Kamala Harris. What would Kamala Harris have done differently on Israel than Trump? Do you think she would have been harder or tougher? Because I think it would have been the same, right? So, like, this is the thing. Like, if you were to say, both candidates support Israel and I can't vote for either, I'm voting the Libertarian Party, or some shit like that, you know? I would understand, but no, he's like, vote Kamala Harris. And it's like, okay, why? Because Israel. Okay, what are Kamala Harris's policies on Israel then? What does she believe about Israel? The answer, literally the same as Trump. I'm not saying that, you know, like Fuentes has or hasn't a point, but like at the end of the day, if you have two packages, right? One package is bringing you like the LGBT shebang. It's bringing you the promise of more conflict. It's fucking your economy and, you know, well, it likes Israel. Okay, fine. The other one promises you like at least something different. Promises that it's going to try to remove some of the restrictions from social media. It promises that it's going to try to end some wars, whether they manage to or not. Whatever, but those were the campaign promises, right? And you're basically, well, I'm going to vote Kamala. It's like, you're a leftist then. Like, the moment, and I'm not changing my mind on this, the moment you put your stamp on a leftist politician, you become a leftist until the next election when you put your stamp on a right-wing politician. There is no other exception. It's like, it is what it is. You know, it's fine. Nothing wrong with being a leftist. Okay? It's not an insult or anything. But I'm saying, like, if you put your stamp on a Democrat, you are a leftist. There's no, like, mind tricks or way around it or anything, right? Like, it's fine. Sometimes, you know, maybe the left fielded a candidate that really represents you. That's fine. Vote the Democrats to punish the Republicans. Okay, but like if the Democrats vote Republicans to punish the Democrats, don't you end up in the same place? Because I heard that too, you know, like some Democrats going, oh, let's vote Republican to punish the Democrat. I understand the vote of spite, don't get me wrong, okay? And the vote of spite, okay, you do it once, you do it twice, but when you do it systemically, then you're a Democrat. Spiteful Christians, so no Catholic or Orthodox. No, I think like a lot of these Christians on that the algorithm promotes, right? Like we're talking about the ones on Twitter, like the ones that you see. The spiteful ones, right? Like you say something spiteful on Twitter and you get promoted. So like the ones that have charity and compassion, they don't get promoted, right? And anyway, right? So I don't know if they're Catholic or Protestant or something like that. Most of them, I like to call them digital Christians. Like, why do I call them digital Christians? Well, these are, a lot of them are young. Like, very young. Usually like 16 all the way to 20. And they hang around on Discords, right? They behave the same way that early social justice activists behaved back in 2016 on Tumblr. Literally the same way, right? So they sit on their Discord servers and they share memes with Jesus or Freerun. Like, they really like Freerun for some reason. The reason that they do this is because they seek community, right? Like they were born in a world filled with chaos, with LGBT nonsense, with, hating the cisgender man, right? So, like, society literally hated them. And I get that, you know, especially you go at school and you have a teacher that hates boys. Like, that's awful. Right? And then they're like constantly preached about male privilege and all that shit. Like, that's their generation. That's what they got. Right? Like, they literally got teachers lecturing them about male privilege and about all the other nonsense. And so they're sick of that. And they go on Discord server and they seek meaning, they seek some, guidance. And so, like, they find it in usually like a YouTuber that's having a Christian channel or a Twitter influencer that's having a Christian take. And they go into that person's Discord and they start to socialize. But there's no, like, actual theology there, Like, there's no mysticism or trying to talk about Augustine or, no. Right? They're not discussing Aquinas. What they are doing is, like, they're sharing memes with Jesus with laser eyes that's burning degenerates and sinners. They're talking about how pornography destroys society. They're talking about the Jews. They're talking about how, sharing memes with freedom and all that shit. And usually, like, they find a target. They find someone that they dislike, whether it's a Japanese artist, whether it's a content creator that had a take, whatever. And then they dogpile him. They try to cancel him. And so what those people need, unironically, is actual Christianity. Like, someone needs to force them into a church. I'm not even kidding. Like, that's how you fix them, okay? Because, like, they're not into the Christian aspect. Like, that's kind of like a window dressing. Like, they're into the sense of belonging. They're kind of like an internet gang, if you will, right? That has, like, their turf, their corner, and they're very territorial. These people, unironically, need actual Jesus. Like, they need to be taken to an actual priest and sit down and listen to a ceremony if they can actually handle it, because, like, most Zoomers don't have the patience for that. But that's literally what they need, right? Like, take it to an actual church. Sean Taylor, thank you for the £5. I wish there was a Romanian version of Vermin Supreme. I don't know what Vermin Supreme is. I'm sorry. Christians would never read the book. Well, to be fair, like, most Christians haven't. If you know, or if you don't know, in medieval time, don't you dare fucking don't message me right now. During the medieval time period, you had the church reading the Bible in Latin. And so, no peasant actually was able to read all the Bible. And even the ceremony, right? Like, even the ceremony was in Latin. So, like, usually what a ceremony looked like was, like, the priest sitting in front of the altar with his back towards the congregation and chanting. Okay? And what they knew about Jesus and stuff was, like, stuff that was painted on the church's walls. So, like, being a Christian and not knowing the Bible is not something extraordinary. Like, it already happened, right? I like the fact that my publisher is trying to help. But, like, again, like many mortals, he doesn't understand my issue, right? Like, he honestly think that the reason my troll battery died is because I don't know how to buy an accumulator. I know how to buy an accumulator, but I'm a person that's very resistant to change, okay? Like, I have mental illnesses. And my mental illnesses is that I don't like changing stuff, right? It's like, if something works, it works. Like, I was already upsetting him by sending him word pads rather than using Google Docs. Or refusing to use GitHub, and I was using, like, all type of shit. I don't use repositories. I don't use this. I don't use that. And while a lot of people are upset about it, when Google started deleting a lot of erotica and other adult shit from Google Docs and, like, nuking entire accounts, I was sitting there very smug. It's like, well, joke's on you. I don't use it for that shit. Anyway, I generally, like, don't use like if my grandpa used it, then it's fine. If it worked for grandpa, it works for me. I don't use the new shit. We got the Argentinian. When is the Argentinian pesos going to rise, huh? Then I may actually get some substantial donations. Like, I see the yellow. It's usually like, oh my goodness, I'm getting $10, and then Argentina. Fuentes wants to side with Muslims and Indians against the United States. He's not right-winger at all, and he just hates us. See, I don't follow his content. If that's what he does, it wouldn't surprise me. Again, like if you're controlled opposition, I'm not saying he is, but like I'm wondering, like if he were to be, what would he do differently? What would he change? The guy with the boot on his head, free pony. See, that's actually a nice image. GitHub censors too. Yeah, no, I'm with the idea that if I don't own it, I don't have it. I'm not going to trust clouds and shit. I use USB sticks, right? And I save my files on USBs, and that's it. I'm not going to use like all this weird technology where I noticed that, like, for instance, recently there were artists that had like their what was it, Adobe account shut down. I was like, what the fuck, like, didn't you used to like own Adobe? And it's like, yeah, but like apparently now it's not like that. You pay a subscription. Okay, so like technically, like the AI like can actually the Adobe program like actually learns how to draw on the shit that you make, and is now canceling people for the shit that they stole to train their AI. Like, fuck it, you know, like why would you use that company? I generally don't get it. Like many artists say, well, it's difficult to learn on something else. And it's like, well, maybe it's worth the hassle, you know? Like, if they can shut down your account. People don't even use LAN anymore. They'll email a file to get it on another computer. Well, I mean, like, look, that's not a problem. Like, emailing still works for now. For some reason, right? Like, I haven't heard about a company nuking someone's emails. Even though, like, at some point it would probably happen. And if that happens, I will start using fax. I use external hard drive to save important data, never cloud or storage. Exactly. It's not necessarily like, look, the problem with the cloud, if you're working on anything that requires an NDA, right? You're working on a story, on a video game, on whatever. If you put it in the cloud, first of all, especially if it's got any erotica or adult or anything like that, you risk having your entire cloud nuked. Like most companies now are very not friendly with any type of content that's for adult. But they don't differentiate between fiction, right? Like you may write a murder in your detective novel, and they may think like you're actually planning something. So again, no risk fucking with that. But the second issue, what if it gets hacked, you know, and then you lose everything? So yeah, I definitely don't trust the cloud. I don't trust repositories. I don't trust anything that I personally don't have. If it has loli? No, it's not loli. There was an American actress, because this is when I got the Spurg out, like 2 years ago or last year, I forgot when. But she was like a prize award winner for writing erotica. So no images, no text, right? So no images, just text. And she wrote like a lot of erotica, right? Like kuchi type of shit. And apparently it was like 100,000 lines. And then Google nuked her account. And now she can't get back anything that she wrote. And it's like, oh, come on, that's really fucked up, right? Like, it's just a book. Like, it's not even images. What the fuck are you doing? Anyway, your PC can get hacked easier than Dropbox. Well, yeah, but that's why I have all my important stuff on USBs, right? So, like, if it gets hacked, it gets hacked. It is what it is. Louise Rosbud and the Clippy Army are fighting the good fight. Yeah, like Clippy just wanted to help. Dropbox literally had a mass leak. See, if every person would think like me, if literally every human being was to be like me, then Dropbox wouldn't have issues. Because like the companies themselves would be like, okay, fine. Fine, you know, you win. You win. Just please use our product. You hate the Clippy thing? Why do you hate the Clippy thing? I find it really cool. It's kind of nostalgic. You know, like seeing all these avatars with Clippy, I think it's charming. Even if I know it probably doesn't do anything, even if I know it's like, okay, yeah, I know what Roseman is doing, right? Like, basically every time you see a Clippy, you think of Roseman, right? Like, you think of him. So, like, that's amazing marketing. I get it. But it's also charming. I genuinely like seeing Clippies in my thumbnails. And so I'm not going to be against it. I never like had Clippy annoy me, right? You people talk like there is no precaution you can take. It's not about taking precautions, Korunjo. It's about the principle of the matter. Like during COVID, this is when I got really pissed off, right? During COVID, there was a documentary called Plandemic. Have you heard of it? I don't know if it was with Alex Jones. But anyway, like there was an entire documentary called Plandemic. And social media decided that that thing shouldn't exist. And so, like, if you shared it on Twitter, you'd get your channel banned. Sorry, if you'd get an account banned. If you share it on YouTube, you'd get your channel banned. Like, nowhere that you could share it was allowed. I think even Discord would nuke it. And so, like, people were sharing that documentary on BitChute and on other platforms. But eventually, people reported that the documentary was deleted from Dropbox. And I was like, oh, go fuck yourselves. Right? Like if you have like your own stuff for your own personal use and you're putting it on Dropbox and then like they have an AI that deletes it from there, it's like, no, absolutely not. Right? And so like, why would I support that? It's like, that's the moment I said, I get what the service is for. I understand it. I'm not going to use it. And I haven't. It wasn't even shadow banning, like it would flat out delete it, right? So like if you have one version of it and you put it on Dropbox, it was gone. And it wasn't illegal, right? Like that's the thing, it wasn't an illegal piece of software or anything like that. It was like a documentary. Now again, you know, sure, fine, you know, maybe the pandemic thing was misinformation. I haven't even seen it, but it's not the point. Let's assume that it was actually fake news. With what right do they have to decide what a person has or doesn't have in their possession? Like if you're selling the cloud as, you know, like an account that a person can have and it's like my space now, like I'm renting that space and I can save my own files there and you're basically showing me that my files aren't safe. I mean, imagine if a bank does that, right? Because like that's how I imagine the cloud. It's like you go into a bank and you have access to like a little vault. And you can place your prized possession there, right? You place your family jewels, you place like important documents in a bank so that you know that they're there and they're safe, okay? I think like that was the Dropbox idea. It's like you place that thing on a different server, on a different computer so that if your house catches fire, you still have the files. That's how I imagined it. But apparently not. You know, imagine going to a bank and you give your family jewels and then the bank goes, yeah, we decided to get rid of them because like we didn't like insane. With the same right that they decide you don't own your own games. To be fair, okay, I will say this about not owning your own games. Gamers are the ones responsible for this. Not the companies, 100% is the game. This is what gamers wanted. And what I mean by this is that there was a time when you actually had to move your ass and go to a store in order to buy games, correct? Wasn't that long ago. Like, you'd go to the store and you'd buy a physical copy of your disc. I personally love doing it because, like, you know, you have a library with your own games. It actually looks cool. You know, you got, like, your piece of furniture filled with games. But then gamers stopped doing that, right? Like, what gamers started doing instead is downloading them online. Why? Well, because it's convenient, right? Like, there's more convenience. Like, you don't go out, you just download them online, and then you can activate them from everywhere. And so when gamers did that, well, the stores went bankrupt, right? And gaming companies went, it's like, okay, we can invest money into shipping 100,000 CDs, but, like, no one buys them. And if no one buys them, we're losing money. So they stopped, right? And the brick and mortar stores went out of a business. And so, yeah, gamers wanted to not own games. I mean, at some point, look, if you want something, spend money on it. Yeah, pretty much Uber Eats for gamers. The same shit with Sargon, you know, like bitching about McDonald's not having kindergartens. And you look at it and you're like, well, did you take your kids to a McDonald's? No, you use Uber Eats. Okay, well, look, if you want it, go and spend money there. Yeah, they get you with the convenience. Exactly, which is why I don't use Dropbox. With the games, I do admit, yes, I'm to blame. Okay, that's my fault. I should have bought more physical copies. Like with the games, I'm part of the problem. With the Dropbox, with Adobe, I'm not. With Uber Eats, I'm part of the problem. Yes, but I live in the middle of goddamn nowhere, so there's also that. Like it's actually more expensive for me to take an Uber. I don't have a car. I don't know how to drive. It's more expensive for me to take an Uber to the closest place than to just order here. It's cheaper, right? And so I do fund the Glovo Mafia. What is this Uber Eats you speak of? Don't you have like similar thing in Britain, right? Like you have websites where you order food. Make your own food? Well, it depends. Like, it's not about laziness. Well, it kind of is. It's more like I don't want to destroy the kitchen. Not destroy it, but it's like not to make a mess. You know, it's a lot easier. You get a pizza, you throw it, there you go. But you don't have to be like me, right? Like, I'm actually the negative example for your children. You don't want your kids to be fat. And so you point at me and it's like, don't be fat. Oh, you don't want my wife cooking. No, my wife, I shouldn't say bad things about her. Let me figure out how I can say this. She's not the best of chefs, okay? And so if it's about food and she's threatening me to cook, then I go down and I cook. But my fucking God, she doesn't cut evenly, okay? She doesn't preheat the oven. Sometimes she forgets the food. She finishes cooking, and then, you know, like when you cook it and you have oil, like let's say she makes some Asian rice, and she leaves the rice in the pot under the oil, and I'm like, oh come on, no, and then I open the kitchen, and it's like Dios fucking mio, it's like a war zone in there. Everything is out of place. I can't find anything. Like I'm actually thinking about buying a lock and locking her out of the kitchen. I'm not even kidding. I need to find like something that's, you know, for interior design with a key code or some shit. It's no, like if she threatens me to cook, I'm descending from the heaven. Like sometimes I'm like, oh shit, do I have a live stream in 15 minutes? Okay, fuck the live stream. I'm going to go cook. No, she's not behind me because she's at her parents visiting right now, so I can gossip. She's coming back tomorrow though. So. But I would hope she doesn't hear this. She knows. Do you think I didn't tell her? Do you think like I'm being mysterious with her? Like I told her, you can't cook for shit. Get the fuck out of my kitchen. I'll cook. The complaint you have is why sometimes men used to leave for days until they start to miss their family. Well, fortunately, she left for days now because she got some tickets to go to the sea, and she went with her sister, and she invited me, and I was like, nah, go have fun. And she went, and she's coming back tomorrow, and I gotta say, you know, like first week was happy, great, and yes, you're right. As time goes on, you start missing. I would rather destroy the kitchen myself. You should see when I'm angry, like the stuff is flying, and I'm like, look, why can't you do this? Look how simple it is. To be fair though, I usually eat a lot of meat. So like meat doesn't really require to make that much of a mess. Like you order food from the butcher, right? You take the steak, you preheat the oven, you put the steak on a pan, 2 minutes one side, 2 minutes on the other, it's done. You put it in the oven, 160 degrees, you leave that there for like 30 minutes. You put seasoning and it's done, right? And then you just clean everything, you wash everything. She wants salad, she wants soup, she wants, okay, fine. And I'm like, well, why don't we order soup from, it's expensive. Oh, shit, it's expensive, fuck me. The thing that really destroys me is when she makes anything sweet, right? And there's flour everywhere and stuff. And it's like, why? Like, look, we have one of the best. No, how do you call this? Sweet stores, the cupcakes. I don't fucking know. Like a store that sells sweets. You know, we have the best one in the country. Just tell me, I will go there. I will buy it. Okay, just tell me what you want. It's expensive. Oh my god, fucking expensive. Anyway, right? I should stop yapping because it's not professional. But chat, like I need someone. You know, I'll pay someone. Let's do it like this. You know, you guys usually give me super chats. Now I'll pay one of you, so you can hear my lamentations. Because I'm sick and tired of spilling it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is annoying. Like, ChatGPT always agrees with me. And I'm like, no, I need someone that can banter with me, you know? Like, someone that can tell me I too had a wife. You have to pay someone so that they can hear me complain. She wants to bake you something that is sweet. I want to buy her something that is sweet. Hey, let's put it on that. Anyway, right? No, like overall, I'm happy. I'm really lucky that I don't have like any major issues, right? Like these are trivial things that don't really upset me, but they're funny when you think about them. Anyway, you're my Huckle GPT. You can do it for free. I don't think you can. I think like if you do it for free, like for the first 2 days, you're going to suffer some fatigue, and after that, you're going to want to find the what version of ChatGPT that kid used with the rope. You know, like you're going to think about deletion. How does that make me feel? You know, it actually makes me feel happy, unironically, because like these are the things that I'm complaining, which means that I have a happy marriage. Like if I was to complain about something worse, then yeah, but like there's like so much other bad stuff that other people have, to the point where if this is my problem, having a messy kitchen, yeah, I feel pretty great. Anyway, right, chat. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. How do I get to improve my number of viewers? I'm getting panicked. You know, I used to have 600 viewers, chat. Every time I stream, boom, 500, 600. The problem is that I decided that I need to nuke my channel, and I nuked it because it was COVID, and I saw like other people immediately getting banned for like the trivial shit. It spooked me, chat. It really spooked me, and I started deleting videos. I started talking about boring topics. And now I'm looking at the viewers and I see that I have 130, which is concerning. And I want to increase them, right? Like I want to increase them, and I'm thinking, okay, I can get some guests. Like what else? Have I tried not being a gypsy? A second monitor? Change the background. To what? I could change the background. Add some music. What type of music would fit my voice, though? Holy shit. Yeah, I'll try to figure out something. Probably more guests, yeah. Use clickbait. See, this is another problem. I usually don't know what to put in the title before a stream. Anyway, right. Thank you, chat. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.